Hey guys, it's Ben. It is Monday morning. I know that, most people are not super happy on Monday morning. Right now, since my main only job right now is both taking care of my mom and promoting the hell out of this comic, it's not super bad. Still got my errands to do today. Just got back from a doctor's appointment. Oh yeah. It's funny. Here in New Orleans, we have one of the few single-screen theaters left in the country. It's called the Britannia Theater. It's on Britannia Street. It was one of my favorite movie places growing up. Number one, because it's super close to where I live, and number two, it was always showing very. It was always showing the latest movies, and it was always done in a kind of simplified way, and it was very evocative of like old timey theater stuff. So I always liked that. But that being said, in the past 5 to 10 years, it has become very wokenized. New Orleans, if you know, like New Orleans is a very left-wing city, so it's pretty much like, if it's trendy on the left, it's gonna be here in abundance. And so, although I will say, a little side note here, our governor, is a left winger, but he took a hardline stance against Antifa, and that won a million points in my book. Antifa showed up, I think somewhere around like Baton Rouge. They were trying to block the interstate, and Governor Edwards did not waste any time in going out and saying, yeah, you take that shit out of this state, not here. Sent the cops. I loved it. I love it. They're terrorists. They need to be called out as such. But yeah, so anyway, I was passing the Britannia today. It's very sad that there really aren't any movies I'm excited to see in the theater at all. I know everybody's going on and on about the Joker. I honestly just wasn't interested in seeing that from the get-go, just because I'm one of the few people where it's like, I don't really want to see the Joker in a context without Batman, or at least without some sort of DC hero to play against. That was one of the things about Injustice that I liked, was the fact that we actually got an interaction between Superman and the Joker. I thought that was a cool concept. Because I know that, Superman is very strong on the outside, but, I think in terms of his mentality, he's very naive and he's very trusting at times. And those are the type of weaknesses the Joker plays on. I just thought that was a really cool dynamic they threw into Injustice. I'd like to see more of that kind of thing. But, yeah, I just wasn't interested in seeing the Joker movie. And plus, every time I hear about Joaquin Phoenix, dude's such a nut. Like, I don't really like to support that, these over the top, ham-fisted method actors. I'm not a big fan of supporting them. I mean, I will, if I like the movie, but they always rub me the wrong way. But yeah, I went to the Britannia, and I just decided, like, I'm gonna stop in for some popcorn because I like movie popcorn. So I literally just went in the theater, got some movie popcorn, and left. And so that was my big movie going experience for the past few months. But I think the reason I'm mentioning this is because I thought I've noticed just in the times I've passed through the Britannia how much the audience has diminished. It, like, that place used to be packed on like a Friday night and stuff. Now they're lucky to get like a small crowd. And the big thing I noticed over and over was that they were really getting into this art house vibe, this art house theme. With, you know, they remodeled most of the interior to look like it was like a 1930s type of theater, which screams wokeness to me, because as we all know, woke people, for the most part, they all want to live in this kind of pretend bohemian alternate reality where like fedoras and everything just never went out of style, like speakeasies and all that, yet for whatever bizarre reason they're supporting fascism. So but it was, yeah, I thought it was funny that as I was looking at the signs there, like, as I was leaving, I realized, I was like, wait a minute, none of the signs for the movie playing were for the Joker. And I know that the Joker's #1 at the box office right now. What's going on? Yeah, they didn't, they decided not to do it. And you know, in the past, they've always jumped on Batman material of any kind. It's like any type of movie coming out with something related with Batman, that was the feature, you know. So I find it funny and curious that this time around they decided not to do the Joker, and instead they're promoting Downton Abbey and another movie that you know, it was so meaningless to me. I saw it once and I forgot about it. Oof. It's just funny seeing how this hysteria, you know, these are all the same people who, like, in their youth were like, you know, were the rebels, you know. Don't do what you're told, but now it's like, do what you're told. You have to. Yeah. Long roundabout. I wouldn't call it a rant. I'd call it kind of a funny observation, because you know, when you see this stuff in action in real life, it's really hilarious. So anyway, Outlaw Nights is still live on Indiegogo, and it is still going strong. If you have not backed yet, I urge you, please, you don't want to miss this book. I promise you, it is going to be an awesome book. The link for the Indiegogo campaign is in the description below. If you like anything I have to say, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because you know, I talk about crap every single day. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's see. I really want to talk more about specific games and stuff, but I just can't think of anything that's worth it for me, you know, anything that I feel passionate about. I feel passionate about Final Fantasy, but like even then, like, you know, I have my limits with things. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I will talk to you tomorrow.